In the world of political theatrics, few individuals command attention quite like Donald Trump. Known for his bombastic rhetoric and often controversial social media activity, the former president is no stranger to making headlines with outrageous claims and dubious statements. Recently, Trump once again captured the public's attention with a wild midnight rant on his social media platform. This time, the focus of his ire was Vice President Kamala Harris, as he took aim at her health, accused her of concealing dangerous medical issues, and once again boasted about his own supposed superior health. This tirade, posted in the early hours of the morning, saw Trump spiraling into a series of bizarre and, at times, incoherent claims. He declared that Kamala Harris's medical report revealed something very dangerous, a supposed cover-up of a serious health issue disguised as seasonal allergies. He went further, stating that he, at 78 years old, was healthier than not just Harris, but also several former presidents, including Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden. As has become customary, his statements were peppered with self-congratulatory remarks about his cognitive abilities and accusations against the media for being complicit in a cover-up. The midnight ramblings from Trump may seem like another day in the life of the former president, but they highlight his ongoing strategy to divert attention from his own controversies, particularly surrounding his cognitive health and declining physical state. This latest outburst provides an insight into the deepening political tension between him and Kamala Harris, with Trump seemingly fixated on her rising prominence. Let's unpack Trump's claims, his attacks on Harris, and the broader implications for the 2024 election race. Trump's midnight social media frenzy. It was around 1 a.m. when Donald Trump unleashed a flurry of posts that were as strange as they were slanderous. In his first message, Trump appeared to be in full damage control mode after a series of media reports highlighting his poor performance at recent rallies and public events. The most glaring issue in these appearances has been his evident cognitive decline, which even his supporters have found hard to ignore. To counter these criticisms, Trump boasted, "I've put out more medical exams than any other president in history and aced 2 cognitive exams. The doctor stated that my cognitive exams were exceptional. I am far healthier than Clinton, Bush, Obama, Biden, but especially Kamala." This line is emblematic of Trump's signature style. Make a grandiose claim, offer little to no evidence, and attack an opponent. His insistence that he has undergone more medical examinations than any other president is easily debunked, but that's hardly the point for Trump. His goal is to create a narrative in which he is a victim of media scrutiny, while simultaneously elevating himself as the healthiest and most cognitively sound leader in modern American history. This approach plays well to his base, but the facts tell a different story. The obsession with Kamala Harris. The second post in his midnight tirade was more targeted, as Trump zeroed in on Vice President Kamala Harris. He referenced her recent health report, claiming that it was riddled with dangerous information that the public was not being told about. "I've just seen Kamala's report and it is not good," he wrote. Trump then falsely suggested that Harris's report, which mentioned seasonal allergies, was covering up a more serious health issue. This claim is completely unfounded, and no reputable source has indicated any issues with Kamala Harris's health. In fact, Harris has been transparent with her medical records, including her annual checkups, all of which have been publicized without any red flags. Trump's accusations are more likely a desperate attempt to sow doubt about her fitness for office, playing into sexist and racist tropes that have long been used against women and people of color in positions of power. It's a clear attempt to undermine her credibility and appeal to his base's fears and prejudices. Cognitive decline on full display. What's particularly ironic about Trump's attacks on Harris's health is that he himself has been the subject of speculation regarding his own cognitive state. In recent months, Trump has made several public appearances where his behavior has raised eyebrows. At a rally in Oaks, Pennsylvania, Trump reportedly spoke for just over 25 minutes before abruptly stopping and telling the crowd, "Let's not do more questions. I want to listen to my music." Bizarre moments like this have become more frequent in Trump's appearances, leading to concerns from even his supporters about his fitness for a second term. His apparent difficulty in following conversations, his inability to complete coherent thoughts, and his tendency to meander off topic have all been cause for alarm. Yet, Trump's midnight posturing is an attempt to shift attention away from his own issues by questioning Harris's capabilities instead. Adding to this cognitive circus, Trump further descended into oddities at another event, where several of his supporters fainted due to the heat. Rather than expressing concern, Trump joked that more people should faint because it helps them lose weight. This callous remark was met with laughter from some of his diehard followers, but it was yet another example of how out of touch Trump can be in moments that require empathy. The cognitive test boast. One of the strangest aspects of Trump's midnight posts was his continued obsession with cognitive exams. He repeatedly bragged about acing 2 cognitive tests and went as far as to suggest that all presidential candidates should take them, regardless of age. I think people should take cognitive tests, not because of their age, but because of something else, Trump stated ominously, implying that Harris might be hiding something. Trump's fixation on these tests likely stems from his insecurity about his own mental faculties, which have been the subject of much debate. In a past interview, Trump claimed that he took the Montreal Cognitive Assessment, MOCA, a test designed to screen for cognitive impairments. He famously bragged about being able to identify an elephant and repeat the words person, woman, man, camera, TV in the correct order, a feat that he insisted proved his intellectual superiority. However, medical experts were quick to point out that the MOCA is not a measure of intelligence, but a simple tool used to identify early signs of dementia. By continually bringing up these tests, Trump is attempting to deflect criticism of his own mental state while also sowing doubts about Harris. The tactic is clear. If he can cast suspicion on Harris's cognitive abilities, he can muddy the waters and distract from his own cognitive decline. However, this strategy seems to be backfiring as more and more of Trump's public appearances show him struggling to maintain focus and coherence. Media backlash and public outcry. In the aftermath of Trump's midnight rant, several media outlets were quick to criticize his behavior. The Washington Post ran a headline reading Trump sways and bops to music for 39 minutes in bizarre town hall episode, highlighting the odd spectacle of Trump seemingly zoning out during a public appearance. Meanwhile, the New York Times pointed to his increasingly erratic behavior as evidence of his deteriorating mental state. Yet, despite these criticisms, Trump's core base remains loyal. For many of his supporters, Trump's unpredictability is part of his charm. They view his rants as evidence of his willingness to speak his mind, no matter how unfiltered. This unwavering support is both a blessing and a curse for Trump. While it keeps his base energized, it alienates moderate voters who are concerned about his fitness for office. The political strategy behind the attacks. There's a clear political strategy behind Trump's midnight rant. By attacking Kamala Harris's health and cognitive abilities, Trump is trying to undermine one of the Democratic Party's rising stars. Harris, as the first woman of color to serve as vice president, represents a direct challenge to Trump's brand of politics. Her rise to prominence threatens the patriarchal and often racist narratives that Trump has built his political career on. Moreover, by focusing on Harris, Trump is hoping to shift attention away from his own legal troubles and the mounting investigations into his post-presidential actions. With the 2024 election looming, Trump is attempting to paint himself as the healthier, more capable candidate, even if the facts don't support that narrative. His attacks on Harris serve as a distraction, a way to rally his base while avoiding the uncomfortable questions about his own fitness for office. Trump's fear of debate. Perhaps the most telling aspect of Trump's midnight tirade was his refusal to debate Kamala Harris. Despite Harris's willingness to engage in debates, Trump has consistently dodged opportunities to face her on the stage. He claims that Harris is desperate to debate because she is losing in the polls, though this assertion is demonstrably false. Instead, Trump has insisted that he would only debate Harris if the format were controlled by Fox News hosts like Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham. This stipulation reveals Trump's fear of being challenged in a fair and balanced debate setting. His refusal to participate in debates outside of the conservative echo chamber suggests that he is not confident in his ability to match wits with Harris in a more neutral environment. By avoiding debates, Trump is signaling weakness despite his posturing about his superior health and cognitive abilities. His unwillingness to face Harris head-on is a tacit admission that he fears being outperformed by a more agile and articulate opponent. This avoidance only fuels the speculation about his declining mental acuity and further undercuts his claims of being healthier than his political rivals. Donald Trump's midnight rant about Kamala Harris's health was not just another bizarre outburst. It was a calculated move to deflect attention from his own cognitive decline and bolster his narrative as the fittest candidate for 2024. However, the irony of Trump questioning anyone else's health is not lost on the American public. His erratic behavior, both online and in public appearances, has raised serious concerns about his fitness for office. By attacking Harris, Trump hopes to distract from his own vulnerabilities, but this strategy is likely to backfire as more voters become concerned about his mental state. In the end, Trump's midnight tirade tells us more about his own insecurities than it does about Kamala Harris. His fixation on cognitive tests and health reports reveals a man who is deeply concerned about how he is perceived, particularly in light of his own decline. As the 2024 election approaches, it remains to be seen whether Trump's base will continue to buy into his narrative or whether they will begin to question the fitness of the man they have so long supported.